DS Venturi Formula E team, Ray Shen and Ionette Babinis Jr., Mercedes EQ, Xavier Kubica and Versepo, Trackhouse Mercedes, Ica World and Lawless Leclerc, Sims Porsche, Tonelli Gabo and Awful Catfish, Nissan Nismo, Scotland Rotach and Cosmos Medicis, Kiro Porsche, Remy LeBeau and the Red Devil, Team Edams Renault, Daniel Bogdasarov and Pablo Sierra, DS Andretti, Sebastian Ocampo and Daf Sanchez, Power Renault, Hugh Cable and Pierre Gasly, McLaren Mercedes, Oscar Folstad and Zach Wallace, DS Techeetah, Marcus Nelson and Revo. The Season 22 preseason test held in Jerez. Catfish on pole from Hugh Cable and Lawless Leclerc. Then it's Revo starting fourth from Pablo Sierra and Marcus Nelson. Sebastian Ocampo starts seventh for the test from Remy LeBeau and Oscar Folstad. Then it's Scotland Rotach, Daf Sanchez, Babinis Jr. and Daniel Bogdasarov. Pierre Gasly starts 14th from Ica World and Tonelli Gabo. Then it's the Red Devil, Zach Wallace, Xavier Kubica, Cosmos Medicis, Ray Shen and Vestio. What the heck was that? But either way, we're in Jerez for the preseason test with a brand new car, and we are underway. Pretty good start from Hugh Cable. In fact, very good start from Hugh Cable, coming alongside Catfish before they even make their way through turn one. Very good turn in for Catfish, everyone having to get used to the new cars that we've got for season number 22 as they now come through turn number 3. Hugh Cable certainly having a bit of a squabble with Catfish immediately, but he is now ahead of the Sims Porsche driver Leclerc, also making some moves ahead of the two DS Techeetahs. Meanwhile, Nissan having a pretty double-sided qualifying, and now their test not seeming any better or worse. We do have a lot of new tracks on the calendar for this season as we go on board with Leclerc, and he's still following Revo, who is able to get himself up into third position. Catfish's title hunt last season didn't go too well. With that new Porsche powertrain underneath him, hopefully they can get something better through in terms of their performances. I can't really speak, it's very early in the morning. But onto the second lap of the preseason test. Hopefully we can see how the Sims car can work in the wake of another car. You can see with the new cars, it is basically a brand new car. Right, if we go on board with Remy LeBeau, the only thing that you could say has stayed the same are the wheel overhangs. And still, look at that. You've got bigger wings now as Hugh Cable sets the fastest first sector of anyone. You have bigger front and rear wings. They're a lot more angular than how much they were rounded. And now you've got some interesting shapes on the engine cover and an undercut on the side pod. All of this is to help generate more downforce, which is incredibly interesting to see. Pretty sure they remodeled the floor as well, so that's another part of the car that is absolutely different. And then you even have the roll hoop, which is more squared for this season. Ica World getting himself a track limits warning. Catfish setting the fastest lap of the test so far, a 1:04 lap time. And Ica in the number 8 Trackhouse Mercedes car, following Xavier Kubica and Zach Wallace in front, almost contact between the two of them. I think there might have been, heading through the opening sector. Some of the new tracks a lot shorter than others. In fact, the new circuit that they've built in Nigeria, I believe, is actually the shortest track to ever be run in the ERL. Babinis Jr. following the Red Devil, but U-Cable has been passed by Catfish. Last preseason test that we ran in Season 20, which has been unlisted for reasons related to Season 22. That preseason test was won by McLaren, and McLaren weren't even in the title hunt. Ocampo sets the new fastest lap of the day, 1:03.1. Catfish getting passed by U-Cable there. There's no real stakes, of course, because some teams have got different run plans. For example, U-Cable certainly trying to pull out everything from that power car. Meanwhile, Gasly is doing a long run performance, especially seeing as he's on the mediums. Denali Gabo making the grid a full-on sim sandwich. I'm pretty sure with Gabo they are testing out how well that car can run in the wake of 21 other drivers, if they ever have to do that. Mercedes EQ being outside of the top 10, and McLaren also being outside of the top 10, that could be a bit of a worry. Just touching on some of the liveries as well, look at how freaking reflective that McLaren is. You can barely even read the sponsors. Maybe they'll turn down how reflective that car is. Is Gasly getting a track limits warning? We're on to the penultimate lap, and Catfish leads for Sims Porsche. Scotland Rotak sending the fastest third sector of anyone. Scotland was meant to be in that McLaren car alongside Falstad when Ahmed vacated the seat, but instead Zach Wallace snapped it up. But he's now got a ride at Nissan, and it seems like he's doing pretty well for himself on board with the number 74 man for Nissan Nismo. And I also really like what they're doing with the Nissan livery, because there are like 3 parts to it. Front on it looks silver, side on it looks black, and on another side it looks red. Revo still following the race leaders here. This part of the track actually looks really, really nice, because it is basically flat out, but you do have to go through the kinks. It is a testing facility of the highest havens as one to the last lap, and maybe U-Cable trying to pull out everything he's got on those softs. And the Michelin rubber doesn't really seem to be wearing down as much. That's good news for the teams. Looks to the inside of U-Cable in front, doesn't seem to be able to make the pass. In fact, gets passed by Revo alongside the Sims Porsche man. You've got 4 different teams in the top 4. That's going to be absolutely magnificent. Revo's taking the lead in the test. Halfway to the end of this lap and the end of the test. And it does seem like it's going to be a 4-horse race between Pachita, Power, Sims, and Andretti. Sorry, I had something in my throat. Andretti, they've always been in the title fight. So has Pachita as well, as they now round the final turn. And it will be the Italian taking home the preseason test and a fastest lap of the day, a 1:01 lap time for Revo, as everyone else now coming across the line to complete their preseason tests. Gabo at the back. Someone stopped on track there. And the running order of the day: Revo from U-Cable and Catfish, then it's Ocampo, Marcus Nelson, and Lala Leclerc. Daniel Baldassarre snagged 7th from Scotland Rotak and Daf Sanchez, then it was Falstad, Ray Shen, Pablo Sierra, who got a time penalty alongside Remy LeBeau. Then it's the Red Devil versus Theo, Babinis Jr., Remy LeBeau, aforementioned, Pierre Gasly, Xavier Kubica, Zach Wallace, Cosmas Morbisis on his return to the ERL, Ica World, and Denali Gabo. Well, that wraps up the preseason test today. Next time you see us, we will be in Shanghai for the first round of Season 22. But from all of my colleagues here at BDS Formula 1 Motorsport, thank you for watching.